Around 3 million dogs are put into shelters every year in the United States. If we love every dog, we create a world where shelters are emptier and our furry friends are finding their forever home. Today I'm going to be talking about how to find the perfect dog breed for your life and for you. I've been around dogs my entire life and I've learned so much about them. And let me be the one to tell you, every single dog breed is different in their own special way. There are 3 main considerations that you should think about before getting a dog, such as your lifestyle and needs, your personality, and some specific needs that come with having a dog. To jump right into lifestyle and needs, you need to think about your daily routine and how you work on a day-to-day schedule. Part of that is your work schedule. It's important to know or to gauge how often you're home and how often you can spend time with your dog. If you're a person that can spend some time with your dog, but you do kind of have a life outside of your dog, then get a dog that doesn't need as much attention or doesn't thrive off of having you all the time. Or maybe get another dog for your dogs to entertain each other. It's a lot easier than just having one dog. But if you are home all the time and you do want to spend a bunch of time with your dog and you're willing to, then get a dog that does thrive off of that attention and that social energy. Another thing that plays into this is your social life. It kind of works like your work schedule. How often are you willing to spend time with your dog? How often are you out of the house because you're socializing? You can socialize, but if you can't take your dog, then it's kind of hard. Another thing to consider is the space of your home. If you have a small home or you live in an apartment, a big dog probably isn't the best option. Just think of having a Great Dane in a small apartment. It just doesn't work. It could work if you wanted to, it just isn't that comfortable. So if you have a smaller home, maybe a smaller dog or a medium-sized dog would be good, but if you have a large home, anything kind of works. Another part of that is the size of your yard. Some dogs need physical activity. They need to run around a big yard and they just need it. So if you have a small yard or don't have one at all because you live in an apartment or the city, then maybe a dog that doesn't need that physical activity would be good, unless you're willing to walk them multiple times a day or you're willing to take them to the dog park multiple times a day, which really isn't logical. So now that we talked about lifestyle and needs, we're also going to add in personality. I think it's really important to match your personality with your dog's personality. I think energetic dogs and outgoing dogs would be perfect for extroverts. If you're a very social person and you're willing to socialize your dog and have them meet people outside of home, that'd be perfect for a dog that thrives off of that attention and loves doing that stuff. Now, another thing to consider is exercise. If you're a person that loves exercising and you really want your dog to exercise with you, think of that when getting a breed. Don't try to go on a 2-mile run with a Yorkie because it's not going to work. Get a dog that also thrives off of that energy being burnt and that needs that energy to be burnt. Every dog can be walked. So if you're a person that loves going on walks, I feel like every dog would be fine for you. Unless it's a bulldog. Some bulldogs can't do that. Okay, and then also a calm dog for an introvert. If you're an introvert and you hate going out and you would rather just lay on your couch and watch TV, get a dog that also loves to do that and would just love to cuddle 24/7 all the time. Okay, now that we talked about personality and lifestyle and needs, we're lastly going to go into specific needs. There are some specific needs that you need to think of before you get a dog, such as grooming and the shedding patterns of your dog. If you're hypoallergenic, get a dog that doesn't shed. There's so many dogs out there that are hypoallergenic. But a con of that is that you do have to pay for grooming. For some people, it's just the cost of having a dog, but for some people, they can't really afford it. So maybe for those people, get a dog that can't shed, or maybe just learn how to groom your dog yourself. That's always, YouTube's a thing. And then for shedding dogs, yes, you are cutting that cost of not having to get them groomed, but you also do have to clean up. I have an Australian Shepherd and I have to vacuum all the time because she sheds all the time. But there are different dogs that have different shedding patterns. There's Labs, which have that sticky fur, and then there's, again, Australian Shepherds or Huskies that have that, like, clumpy fur. I could go into this all day. And then another specific need is also companionship. Every dog is a companion, but there are some specific parts of being a companion, such as being protective. Some people get a dog solely just to be protective and to protect them. And there's dogs like Belgian Malinois, German Shepherds, Rottweilers. Those dogs are bred to be protective and they thrive off of it. But then there's also dogs that are emotional support dogs. If you struggle mentally, maybe get a dog to help you mentally. Or there's dogs that are meant to help sick people. There's so many things. So today we talked about the parts that go into owning a dog, so hopefully you have a better idea of what goes into having a dog. So to conclude, knowing the ideal dog breed for you can give you a lifelong best friend and a companion. So hopefully you learned a little bit more about dog breeds and you have a better idea when you want to get a dog in the future. Thank you. And then here's one note card.